Hi, in this lesson, we will learn how to write proper guidelines for cursor and why do we need it, how to write backend, front-end documentation, how to make cursor agent to write this documentation for us, and also how to add guidelines that are already in the project made for different agents like OpenAI Codex or Claude Code. So we'll learn how to use them as well in cursor and how to make cursor to take them into account. Let's start with why we need rules, why we need to define something for the agent. So the agent, when it works, it doesn't know anything about your project. It can list files in your project. It can look at specific file, read it. It can read your README file in your repository, but it doesn't know goals of your project. It doesn't know guidelines, how you want code to be written. Do you want comments to be included? What libraries do you want to use? Sometimes it can open file with your requirements, with your installed packages and see what version is used, but sometimes it can just not do it. And it's always a good practice to have some document where you define everything you want agent to take into account about your project and use it for some of the requests. In Cursor specifically, this thing I'm describing is called cursor rules. So in order to create cursor rule, you want to go to cursor settings, then you want to go to rules, memories, and comments. And now you can see different types of rules you can add. First, you see here user rules. User rules is something defined just for you and not shared with your teammates. So if you want to add something personal here, just feel free to mention your style, and it will be used across your different projects. So it's not just for this project specifically. We will not add this type of rules, but we will add project rules now. So when you click add rule, you see that cursor is asking me for rule name. So let's say we want to create a rule which defines what is the project about, what is the goal of the project, how it should work, etc. So let's call it project description. Project description, you click enter, and now you see this interface. So Cursor created this MDC file. So it looks like a markdown with a special text in the beginning of this file. So you can see now the select, which asks us how we want this rule to be used. So there are multiple ways how you can use it. Always apply. It means that for every agent run you do, this rule is included into the context. I think for project description, it's a good thing to include this file in every request, because now we make agent to know what we wanted to know about our project every time it does something. Apply intelligently, it means that agent will think about whether it needs this rule or not. So for example, if you have some rule about your backend and you work with a front end, it might decide not to use this rule. And when you work with backend, it will include this rule. But again, in this case, you leave this decision on the agent, not on yourself. Applied to specific files, it means that you can describe some file pattern. For example, you can apply it just to TypeScript files or just to some configuration files. So it depends on your use case. You can write a rule about how to write proper TypeScript code and apply this rule only to files written in TypeScript and ignore the rest. The fourth one is apply manually, which means that you have to tag it like you tag other files in your code base. It makes sense in some cases, especially when you have a lot of different rules and you don't want to damage your context window in the agent. So you just can write all those rules and then tag them when you need them. In our case, because it's a project description, I think it's a good thing to have to include this rule always with every agent request. So we select always apply here. Now let's write something in this rule. So first way how you can go, you can just start typing in this file because it's a standard text file, so you can start describing your project. The second way how you can do is you can open agent, you can tag this file specifically and ask it to add project description to this file. In our case, we have quite a simple project, so let's ask agent to do this for us. I switch to agent mode, I tag this project description rule, and I ask agent to add project description to it. Okay, so the agent is ready. We can review this file, interview prep application, technical stack, key features, job description input, AI interview, streaming response, vision support, chat history, responsive design, feedback system, project structure, key implementation details. Okay, so it's quite good, and it means that now when we keep this file, it will be used with every agent request because we have always apply set to true for this cursor rule.